again from NAB. It's EJ from iDesign.com, and I'm here with Matt from Brograph.com, one half of Brograph at least, and he's going to be one of the presenters on C4D Live this week, and that's Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Wednesday. They put me at 9:30 a.m. They know I don't drink, and they knew there was a big party Tuesday night, so they're like, Matt can be the designated presenter for Wednesday morning.
You're the DP.
Let everyone else be hungover. Matt, he's reliable. So I guess I'm reliable, whatever.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be going over in your presentation?
It's funny, like a couple of the presentations today, there was Barton Damer's speech and Patrick Longstrand. I'm actually kind of touching on both of their stuff. Patrick went over doing like camera mapping and stuff like that, and so I'm going to be really going over that with a couple of projects we did. Actually, every project that we did, that the three that I'm showing off, I'm going to show it how to do it really quick and dirty, and I'm going to show it how to do it correctly, And then we're going to go into, Barton spoke about some anamorphic projection stuff. He showed off the 50th anniversary van stuff, which I thought was way cool. And mine isn't going to be as cool, but I'm going to show kind of some anamorphic projection that we did for healthcare.gov.
Awesome. Very cool. So what are you guys doing over at Brograph? How did you guys get started, and how did you guys meet and start doing this thing?
So Dave and I was interviewing for a job at the place where Dave was working. And I just started out as like a normal Premiere Pro editor, and I had an After Effects background as well. And so while I was interviewing there, Dave and I were talking, and I was like, yeah, I've thought about doing tutorials. He's like, yeah, I've thought about doing tutorials. Then I got hired there, and I had done one Grayscale Gorilla tutorial about extruding text because I wanted to learn how to do 3D. And Dave's like, oh, I'll teach you 3D. And then, our friendship blossomed, and finally I learned so much 3D. And because he had taught me, and I was like, okay, well, let's just go ahead and do the tutorial site. And so we're driving around, we're like, well, we need a name. And it's like, Grayscale Gorilla, that flows, and Video Copilot, it's easier Copilot. And Dave's like, what about Brograph? And we're like, that's so funny. All right, let's go ahead. Is it available? Oh my gosh, it's available. Cool. Okay, let's buy it. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, now we're going under the name Brograph. Yeah, it was a joke, but now we're doing it. So we started doing that. We did that for about a year. And then we did tutorials. We were making, we were getting a little bit of interest, but then we started the podcast. We're in episode 80 now. It's a weekly podcast, anywhere from an hour to 3 hours if we have David Ariev on. But and that just shot up, and people really liked it. And so we do news. We talk about what's going on during the week and any given week with Maxon and Cinema 4D and render engines. And we've had you on, we've had Nick, we've had people, we've had Deadmau5, and it's this thing's kind of blown up, and that's where people know us as the Brograph guys. Hey, you're the Brograph guy.
He's the Brograph guy.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned Deadmau5. Let's talk a little bit about your guys' obsession with Octane and how that led you to meeting your good friend Deadmau5, and you landed that sweet gig. So
it's such a funny story. It's you always dream of one of these giant big projects where you get to work with one of you. It's a dream client, and so it was the podcast basically was because of this. We had a listener send us a link. It was a 12-hour live stream that Deadmau5 had done, and he said, hey, check out hour 8, 30 minutes, or 8 hours and 30 minutes. And so we looked at it, and it was Deadmau5 watching one of our tutorials. And so we took a screenshot of it, posted it on Twitter, and said, it's a good day whenever Deadmau5 is watching one of your tutorials. So he started following us on Twitter, and it's like, oh man, that's so cool. And so the next week, we did the podcast, and I made a stupid joke about punching the president in the face, and he sent me a message on Twitter, and he goes, oh my gosh, that was so funny. I was like, whoa, that just made my morning. It's like I had just woken up and I saw that message, and I instantly popped awake. I show my wife, I'm like, he just messaged us. So I texted back, I said, oh man, I'm kind of embarrassed. do you want to be on the show? Jumping on that opportunity. And so he's like, yeah, sure, let me know. And so the very next day we were recording a podcast with him. And so we're just, shooting the crap afterwards, after we're done. He's like, so do you guys, make content as well? We're like, yeah, we're not just a tutorial site. We also make content. We run our own business, Nexus Motion. And he's like, so here's what I'm thinking. And it's like, from that point on, we're like, yes, okay, yeah, totally. So, he flew us up to Toronto. We got to stay at his house, and we did like a 2-day straight, Brograph jam. We brought David Ariev along with us because he makes us look good, and it was really, really awesome. Like, it was a dream come true.
Yeah, you're doing tutorials one day, and next thing you know, you're sleeping in Dead Mouse's house.
I know, right?
Really crazy. So let's just close a little bit and just tell everyone about the podcast. When you guys usually put it out? Is it on YouTube? How do they watch it?
So podcast. We record it every Sunday. We release it every Monday. Monday, whatever podcast choice downloader that you like. It should be. It's on iTunes. It's on Google Play. It's not on Spotify because Spotify's weird about podcasts. It's like they want to be cool, and we're not cool enough. Whatever. But you can also check it out on YouTube. We upload all of our podcasts to YouTube. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for taking the time to talk with us, and really loving the podcast. And you can check out Matt, the one half of Brograph, and Dave is actually holding the camera here. We'll interview him a little bit later, but really great guys that really help out the community and keep us updated on all the latest motion graphic news from Brograph.com. We'll see you in the next video.